it becomes imperative to begin a serious agenda setting for the 9th National Assembly, starting from the leadership of the Senate. The Senate President is the chairman of the National Assembly and is very critical to the direction the country goes. We are concerned about the need to avoid the unnecessary rancorous politicking that led to the emergence of Senator Abubakar Bukola Saraki, that was in 2015, and the subsequent psychological and physical combat that follows. This issue, as we all know, affected governance negatively. Our major intention is to create an harmonious executive-legislative relationship that will help the country achieve sound and effective governance. Gentlemen of the press, the history of leadership of the National Assembly needs to be placed in its proper perspective to reduce tension and help the leadership selection process in the 9th National Assembly. That is about setting the record straight. In 1999, when this democracy was baited, the President, General Olusegun Obasanjo, was from the South. The Southwest, to be precise, while the Senate President was in the South, also the Southeast specifically. This was the arrangement for the two-term 8 years of Obasanjo's presidency. Similarly, in 2007, when the late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua from the Northwest became president, the Senate President moved from the South to the North, this time the North Central, and was held by Senator David Mark, who served the longest term as Senate President in Nigeria. Unfortunately, Yar'Adua died, and his deputy, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, became president. The Senate President was retained in the North Central simply because it was understood that President Jonathan was continuing with President Yar'Adua's tenure. Again, in 2015, President Muhammadu Buhari was inaugurated as president, and the governing party, APC, agreed that the Senate President should remain in the North. The incumbent Senate President, Dr. A.B. Saraki, of the North Central, clinched the position. This made the North Central to have, against historical balancing, held onto the exalted office for 12 straight years. Consequently, the North Central should be totally out of this race for the sake of equity. If we must sustain this political consensus, which is historical and very politically healthy, we must strongly support the zoning of the Senate presidency to the Northeast. Plan, therefore, sincerely commend the APC for looking in the direction of the Northeast. It is the right thing to do, but we equally disagree and warn against any attempt to impose a candidate. Yes, while it is imperative for a ruling party to introduce a semblance of order and political stability in the leadership choice, historical antecedents have shown that imposition through influence peddling and invoking the name of the president has led to instability in the leadership succession in the National Assembly in the past. There are a number of experienced, exposed, versatile, cosmopolitan, and broad-minded ranking senators from the Northeast. The search for a Senate president must be broadened to get for Nigeria the very best. The idea of a handpicked Senate president is as undemocratic as it is undesirable. The Senate must rise to the occasion. It is incumbent on it, on behalf of Nigerians who elected them, to choose a Senate president that can build bipartisan and nationalistic bridge, which will contribute in stabilizing the polity and bridging the unity gap. We are also shocked and disturbed that in order to impose a candidate, the name of President Muhammadu Buhari is being dragged into the agenda of a few under the guise of a vague term presidency. It must be clear that President Buhari has not shown any sign of supporting any project that undermines participatory democracy. Just recently, he openly stated that the electorate in states where supplementary elections are held are wiser now and should make their choice. Also, during the APC primaries, you are aware, contrary to APC National Working Committee threat, the president encouraged aggrieved aspirants to approach the court for redress and disagree with the party on its undemocratic stand then. Therefore, the 9th Senate should go ahead and elect for itself a Senate president that will work for it and for Nigerians. This position shall be communicated to all appropriate quarters, especially the senators-elect, President Muhammadu Buhari, and all major political parties. Gentlemen of the press, this conversation will continue exploring issues in the legislative agenda for the 9th National Assembly, like the issue of the speakership, the electoral reform that have become so...
It's not made up of APC. It's the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's not the Senate of APC. And you know we talked about bipartisanship or multi-partisanship. So we do not want a National Assembly that will be dominated by APC in the manner that the national chairman of APC, with all due respect, has directed. Because just like the last person that asked a question observed, it will not make for the kind of legislature that we want. So we are not against Lawal. He's a credible Nigerian, but the search must be broadened. We want a Senate president that is a Senate president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not a Senate president that some individuals has picked for some reason.
Normally takes the leadership. If that is dominant, I don't understand, because I know that decisions reached at the National Assembly are reached at the level of consensus, or if there is no consensus, then there is a call for voting. So most positions in the National Assembly are normally gotten at the level of bipartisanship. And I see that all this is politics. Everybody is trying to show up his record, is going to show up her strength so that he can clinch the position. But when you get there to work properly, you have to bring everybody together. So I think what we are more interested in is not that APC is going to totally dominate. They have about 65 senators. We also have PDP there, who have also almost 30-something. We have YPP. We have YPP for the YPP also. They have a candidate. We have Abuja also. So you can see that the whole thing is better for our multi-party democracy. Nobody is going to dominate anybody. We are going to rather, Nigerians should insist on having a Senate that is not rubber-stamped. It is for the benefit of democracy. It is the benefit of all of us. If we have a rubber-stamped Senate, where we have a Senate president that is totally loyal, when I mean loyal, then definitely I think it will not be to the best interest of Nigerians, because a lot of things will be family affairs. I think that is our position for now.